right here is behind my table saw and router table station. Now, I haven't really gotten back here in a while to clean it out. It is kind of a mess. There's the dust collects back here because I built this station to allow for dust collection. But that was, I don't know, 2 years ago. And so dust collection is just getting in here now. So what happens is sawdust tends to build up back here. And it is probably the worst I've ever seen it back here. I usually try to get back here and clean it up as often as possible. I knew the dust collector was coming in, so I've kind of let it lax. As you can see, there's a lot of dust. And there's a lot of dust that builds up underneath the table saw too. I need to go ahead and clean all this out and go ahead and get ready, and we can start running the runs not only for this workstation, but for the drill press and the bandsaw. But I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up first. Okay, that pile right there, that is coming right out of my thing. That's how much, there's still more in there, but that's what came out. Dust collection is so needed. So what we're going to do now is install my dust collector runs to the machines. My dust collector is just basically a one-stage, it's a wall-hanging bag unit. It's not even like a full one-stage, which for my shop is probably about as big as I could stick in here. So though I am going to run to machines, I'm not going to have very long runs. In fact, what I'm going to have is 3 separate runs to different machines, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to lay that out now. Okay, so I got you from my highest vantage point to kind of show you how I'm planning to run these out. I'm breaking them into 3 sections. The first being my table saw. My table saw is on my long sled, as you can see here, and so there are going to be 2 ports. One port coming right from the saw area, and then there's a dust catch below my table saw that catches dust, and so that's going to be the first run. This plate is going to cover that lower hole, right? Hose is going to run to this along the back of my this Y along the back of that cabinet, and the small hose is going to go into the second port, and that's basically going to be that handle the table saw. It's going to come out to my dust right port, right, where I can plug right in with the dust right and handle my table saw connections. My second run is going to be for the router table. This is going to mount right behind the router table. This tube is going to go on. The top tube is going to feed my fence right here, as this bottom tube will suck from the lower cavity area. And that will be what I'll use for dust collection for my router. Now, my other one is a little more complicated of a run. It's over here on this side. Okay, so this run on this side is going to be the run that handles my drill press and my bandsaw. So basically it's going to handle two different tools. Though these tools really don't produce big chips, they produce a lot of fine dust and stuff. So I think I can get away with having a set of blast gates. One blast gate will feed the dust collector, the bandsaw, and then one will feed the drill press. So basically along the wall I'm going to have the dust right port. I'm going to come in to this T, right? This T will then run with flex hose and feed my bandsaw. This one will continue over to this flex hose that I have here. It's like this flexible hose that'll go up to my drill press. I have some air leaks where the hoses go into the top of that the dust port. So I need to either do some sort of taping or something to kind of prevent the air leaks there. But that's going to be the runs. So let's get into installing them. The first run we're going to do is the table saw run. And the first thing I need to do is right here, I don't know if you can see that, this chute is going to go. Now I bought this chute, right, and it doesn't have any holes drilled. So I'm just going to go drill some holes, probably 4 per side, and then we'll come back over and we'll mount this. I'm going to also try to put some caulking around the back or something to kind of make it a little more airtight. So I'm going to go over and drill these holes. Nothing special, just drilling holes. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, right, is I'm going to go ahead, I drilled these holes, and I'm going to run a bead of sealant caulk, adhesive caulk, around here. I'm going to take some duct tape and hold this in position while I drill some holes. Right? I'm going to drill holes, and then I'm going to drive screws and hold everything tightly up against there. So I'm just going to run a bead of it. Okay. Take the pressure off of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this over and tape it. I'm going to bring this over, and I am going to try to line it up. And I'll just drill some holes. I'm going to drill a couple pilot holes for some screws in the holes that I already drilled. I'm going to go ahead and drive some screws. Now, while I have the caulk out and I'm doing this, I'm going to go over and do the one for the cabinet for the router. One of the things when I went ahead and originally drilled these holes, which were when I built this case 2 years ago, if not a little more than that, I didn't know what size hole. So this is actually a 4-inch port that I'm going to stick on the bottom there. And so I got to determine whether I want to leave that smaller hole, right, or make it a little bigger. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bigger. So I'm just going to hold it where I want it to go, and I'll draw the inner diameters of that hole. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that there. Really no different than mounting the other one, except for it's round. It's got less screw holes. So what I did is I kind of made like a little shelf here, a little Z bracket, nothing fancy. It was a scrap piece of poplar. And that'll just sit there right like that. Might have to tape it, do whatever, but no big, a little tray. So we'll go ahead and we'll start cutting the runs to go to both of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put the hose with the clamp on there, and I'll tighten up. It's not staying on there very well. There we go. Nope. Well, that is just god-awful. Okay, the problem is that this is kind of sloped a little and everything's sliding off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the end a little. Okay, I wrapped a bunch of tape around that. Kind of build this end to give a little lip back here. Well, that was a simple trick. We're going to bring it over to the clamp, right? But we're going to need to find a way to secure that to keep it from sliding. Okay, so down on this end, I want a port for my dust right to go into. So one of the things I need to do is I'm going to mount a bracket so my dust right will sit there. Right, I put the hose, and then I'll clamp this, right, and I'll have a nice steady platform to go ahead and hook my dust right hose to. And I just want to make sure there's enough clearance, right? If not, I'll build it out on a block. Okay, I had to run out and get some stuff. I got some bungee cords. They're to strap them into those things instead of using those nails. Got some more screws. I got this plastic hanging strap used to hang pipes. I figured it's a cheap way to hang. If I need to hang the tube up, I can just hang it with that. I got a magazine, that's really unimportant. And I got some eye screws for these bungees. And that'll also allow me to easily take it out if I need to clean or fix them. Another thing I got was I got these, which is what I went for. And these are 1 3/4 to 2 3/4 hose clamps, so I can clamp on the 2.5 inch hose. Basically what I'm gonna do is this tube will go here, right, just like that. And I'm gonna run a strap from here to here to just hold that in place. So I will go ahead and get something to mark this with, which I don't have anything in reach. For these, there we go there, and let's put it right there. Okay, actually let's put it over here. I think that'll hold it in better. Just screw that in. Use a screwdriver to give me more leverage. I can't turn it by hand. There should be good. Now we'll do the lower one. Both of those are in. It kind of holds it. Not too bad. I'm okay with that. So now we'll go ahead and hook in the 2.5 inch hose. This is my dust port that comes out of the blade shroud, and this is going to suck probably, I don't know, but I'm saying majority of the dust right there from the cut. And so this tube will then run into the smaller tube on that Y down there. So would have been nice if they had that tube come out another 1/2 inch or so. There we go. Down here, it's basically come right down there onto that. I might adjust this rubber band because I want this to be back here. So when this comes up to the 45 position, go ahead and I'll clamp that on. That's really no different than clamping this one on. I'm just clamping on down there. That'll be enough to go ahead and mount that. I don't need to build that out anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that. Okay, so right down here, right across from where that is, you're going to do it on a little bit of an angle. Okay. Go ahead and put in the rest. So that'll get mounted there. So I want this to sit more up here, right? So what I'm going to do is just undo this bungee cord. Move this out of the way. Right here I have this little eye hook, Alright, I'm just going to move the eye hook down further. Put this back. There you go. Holds that in nice and tight. Everybody workshop polka. Oh, I don't know. It's hot out here. I think it's going to my head. Okay, so I put together this piece, right? This will get clamped right there like that. And then this will connect over to that. So, first thing I'm going to do is clamp it here, right? Get that nice and snug. And then I can move this around and clamp those together. These here are going to require these 4-inch clamps I had to go get the second time I had to go to the store. Okay, right, like that. Nice and sturdy, right? Good hookup right there. Feed my table saw, and I can still get the door open to my cabinet if I need to get in there, which is something I was a little worried about. Okay. Undo that. This is probably going to be a little bit of the tricky part. This is going to kind of be like a monkey doing something unspeakable to a football. This is not going to be easy. Oh, I think I need... Maybe that'll help. Maybe if I undo it at the other end, it'll make it easier. This thing is really starting to piss me off. I'll put the bungee back. Okay, so that's basically the table saw run. So basically what I want to do now is I want to take, I bought some of this extreme tape, right? And I want to just tape up that Y right there first. I'm just going to tape up the Y, see how this works. And then, okay, so I like this bungee clip approach because it allows me, if I need to get in there and make repairs, it's just simple to do. So I'm going to open up this tape. I got this tape from Rockler. You can get it at other places too. It's just one of the things that I ordered when I was ordering a lot of the stuff now. A lot of my components are mixed match between Grizzly and some Rockler stuff because I have the dust right. This stuff is not sticky. It only sticks to itself. How? I don't know. Science stuff. So basically what I do or what I do, I don't know what I'm going to do, I've never done this before, is I am just going to go ahead, and as you wrap, you're supposed to pull it tight. Right. I don't know what this stuff is made of, but it smells like a shoe store. Now we're going to move on to the router cable dust collection. And this really, I mean, doesn't really have too much, right? It's just basically the port that we put on, this coupler, and then a dust right port. It's basically just going to slip on, right? And we'll tighten it up. Now, one of the things I want to do is, there we go. Turn, that's good. This can move too, which can be helpful. Put this piece on. Basically it. Not too bad. What I'm gonna do, put some out here. Okay. Hello.